ready. I prepared. I'm ready to have fun. I did all the hard work, so now it's just time to apply.
I know you've been confident going into this fight, but that last standoff with Leila, what did you kind of feel with the energy between the both of you?
You know, that we're ready. We're both ready. We're both ready to put on a show, and I think that, you know, come Friday night, you're going to see who's more dominant.
Speaking of you, like back when this was going to be on a Gervonta fight, there's been a lot of anticipation. How hard was just going through all the changes and the uncertainty of the event?
You know, mentally it gets challenging because things happen a lot in boxing, a lot of changes happen. But one thing about myself, I've been at this stage before where changes happen when the Queen had died in London. So it was nothing to make an adjustment, and that's what I did.
Alycia, you know, 2025, you fought at Madison Square Garden on Netflix, and now to end the year, you're also fighting on Netflix in the co-main event and arguably MVP's biggest card of the year. When you think about the year, what do you think about it?
Man, listen, like I said earlier, I'm in transition period. You know, I lost my dad last year, and I'm just happy that I'm able to be here. He's my motivation on why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I just have that extra fire underneath me. And so when you think about Alycia Baumgardner, where she should be and where you think she should fight and all those things, everything is orchestrated, and I'm very patient on God's plan for my career and for my life. So I just make sure that I'm ready always.
Another fight with Derek James, you know, there's still some things that, you know, you haven't showed yet with his coaching. You know, what are some things that boxing fans haven't seen yet from the Baum?
They haven't seen a lot, you know. Derek is really particular on defense. He's really particular on movement. And so you'll see more of this aggressive fighter who's going to come forward, who's going to take advantage of the fire. Baby, I don't have no fire suit on. I'm just stepping in with both feet. So you're going to see just that dog. Like, I know I haven't been able to pull that out, and I think that's just, you know, going through these changes. You know, as fighters, we're humans, you know, and when we step into that ring, that's where we can really just showcase who we are. But I'm so hungry, y'all. I'm very hungry.
So you changed your profile picture to Chucky with straight backs.
Chucky with the straight backs.
Why is that?
Chucky just gives a certain type of energy, and you know, even though he's mysterious and he looks like a kid, he has this grown man energy. He's just like, listen, I'm here to kill, steal, and destroy.
Alycia, going from 2-minute rounds to 3-minute rounds, the preparation is different. 2-minute rounds are more explosive, and 3-minute rounds, I'd say, a bit more tactical. Is there a difference in your preparation this time?
I think preparation has always been something that I really keen on, but this is to improve what I've already done in 2 minutes. You guys see how explosive I already am when it comes to 2 minutes, so I think the fans and everybody will enjoy Alycia doing 3 minutes because of my style, because of the skills that I have, and I can finally put those together and I don't have to rush. So you'll see a very dynamic fighter, puncher, come forward, fight on the back foot. Like, I have all the skills that I plan to show.
Was there any changes in your preparation given that 3 minutes?
You know, just great sparring. You know, I had a great male sparring, I had women sparring, but most importantly that stood out is just the men's sparring. You know, I could finally spar the 3 minutes, you know, and the 12 rounds that went into it, man, we did 14 to 15 rounds. I'm like, another one. So I'm at that stage. I'm a dog. I love it. I'm a competitor, and I'm always trying to up the competition.
You said you're serving hooks and looks. So
That's
what
right.
round?
Listen, we're serving hooks and looks in every round, okay? You know, I don't like to play with my food. I want to get Leila out of there. Again, y'all, I've had this built-up aggression, losing my dad. I'm motivated. I'm hungry. I'm just ready to go in there and just have that relief, but also have that moment in time that I'm going to remember and make my statement December 19th.
You had that back and forth with Caroline on stage. How much is that something you'd be looking forward to? How far off do you think that would be?
Listen, I'm always focused on what's important in front of me. You know, I've always said that I don't duck any smoke. Everything comes down to business. I'm a businesswoman. I'm business first, and if that fight makes sense money-wise, if the venue makes sense, I'm going to do it. But again, business always comes first. They need Alycia Baumgardner to sell a fight. You feel me?
Alycia, you're a Netflix fighter, but what is your favorite show to watch on Netflix?
Yes, I'm a Netflix girly, so, you know, I just watched The Testament of Moses. And I think it's important when you can really dig deep into who Moses was. God chose him to free the people. And when you're chosen and you feel like you're not qualified, God always calls the qualified. And baby, I'm qualified for this moment, December 19th.
Last question, what are you wearing right now?
Right now, I'm wearing just, you know, I'm just icy. I got the fur on. I'm feeling, it's Christmas spirit, y'all. So I'm bringing the fur, the jewels, and just the looks, the glam in December. We're closing out the end of the year with the best, and I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
Alycia, they were just talking about Netflix. Did you watch the Diddy documentary?
I didn't know. No, I don't watch those type of documentaries because there's energy that carries with that, and my energy is focused on something positive, something that's going to influence me, something that has substance. And so I have the biggest fight of my career Friday night on Netflix, so that's what we're channeling.
Alycia,
You're a new big inspiration to a lot of girls, myself included. If you were to give advice to young girls, the next generation, what advice would you give them?
My advice to the girls that's coming up or just living life, believe in yourself, understand the power that you have and trust that power, stand in your power, and when you can do that, you can know what inner confidence looks like. I know a lot of people are like, oh, how does she have this confidence? It's inner, but it is also comes through the trials and the tribulations that I had to go through to stand 10 toes and say, hey, I might have gone through this, but this taught me a valuable lesson, and moving forward, it will build that resilience that you need in life. And so, listen, we're all built for it.
Alycia,
What about the Derek James influence, or just obviously you've been with him for 2 fights now, and just talk about his him and the
Yeah. Listen, Derek James is an all-time trainer. I know a lot of people have a lot of things to say. I'm not any of the other fighters that Derek has trained. I'm Alycia Baumgardner. I came into his gym as the undisputed world champion, learning, wanting to learn, wanting to be taught. Derek is a great teacher, and he has taught me a lot of things that I continue to soak in because I'm a sponge when it comes to the sport. I'm never satisfied. I never stop learning. So you'll see that dynamic even better come the second fight between me and Derek because we have more time.
There seems to be an aura, a vibe in the MVP camp. What's it like being in a camp with rivals, with a stable of so many women, and how does that vibe, his confidence, rub off on you?
I mean, you see how boxing has changed. We're in the modern day of boxing. We have a platform, we have voices, we're very vocal. When you have influence, you can really move a lot. You can move mountains with the influence that you have. So MVP has done a great job for building this catapult of women fighters, men fighters, champions, and really showcasing. We're fighting on Netflix. Like, this is big.
What about his self-belief? I mean, some people call it delusional, but in a way, it's that inspiring.
Listen, you gotta be a little loose in the head, and you gotta have some self-belief to believe to step in that ring. Listen, y'all, it's a warrior sport. It's a combat sport. I'm going to war.
I have to ask, you said you were going to lay some pipe.
I know. That sounds
what
so
do you mean by
crazy.
that?
When I thought about saying that, I'm just like, I'm gonna lace the pipe. Honestly, it's just I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'm not playing around. I know y'all see me happy, joyful. That joy is internal. You can't take that away from me. So when I step into that ring and that bell rings, completely different person.
what can fans expect when you step in the ring against Leila Beaudoin this Friday on Netflix?
What fans can expect is, again, this exciting, explosive fighter. I'm stepping into this becoming year of who I am. So we're starting that and going into the new year. So it's transition.